Hello, and welcome back to Project Zomboid. Today will be the start of a very cold journey. I will be attempting to survive 10 days in a cryogenic winter. I chose the hardest one and enabled the continuous snowstorm setting. Before we begin, if you can go down there and subscribe, that would be so cool of you. Also, I've been thinking about streaming my recording sessions on Twitch, so I'll leave the link to my Twitch channel in the description below so that just in case I decide to, you can follow and be notified when I go live. Now, it's time to go over the traits and occupation that I went with for the playthrough. For this, I went with the burglar occupation. And for the negative traits, I went with thin-skinned, high thirst, slow healer, conspicuous, prone to illness, smoker, weak stomach, cowardly, short-sighted, and slow reader. For the positive traits, I went with cat's eyes, dexterous, outdoorsman, wakeful, baseball player, gymnast, brawler, fast learner, stout, and fit. I'm also going to start with no clothes for added difficulty. Now that that's out of the way, let's get started. I spawn in, and the snow is already falling. Going outside with my current clothing may as well be a death sentence, so I search around for any extra layers to throw on and I find a hiking bag and a wardrobe. That was lucky. I put on everything I find and I try to find a weapon. I fail at that and I had to stomp a zombie to death with my bare feet. I take care of the adversary. And I wear their pants and I steal their shoes. Fits like a glove. On the foot. Right foot pain. Don't mind it, sir. On a more wholesome note, I was able to repair my pants with the sewing kit and sheet I found in the bathroom. Beautiful. Going outside to loot the shed was a small hassle, but I ended up finding a hammer and some other supplies in there. No crowbar yet. I need to plan my runs around the life and living shows as best as I can, especially since I'm going to be sitting inside for long periods of time. I make a break for the next house over and I make it. The first door I open, I get grabbed, but I got away. I take all the thread I see because I have a feeling that tailoring will be a big focus. A few houses over and I find boxing gear. Huh. Better than nothing. Oh, that's so amazing. I honestly love that. I wish that would happen more often. I hide out in the house next door and holy shit, I almost died. Just watch this. I barely escaped with just a scratch on the hand. I noticed that I'd ran off to a house that was right by the fire station though, so with a double-barrel shotgun I found in this wardrobe I made a dash to get to the fire station. After getting inside the fire station, I had to kill even more Zeds. After that, it was time to sleep. I woke up the next day and made a beeline for the police station. It's best if I can do most of my melee fighting inside. So I fight my way to the armory and I bust down the door with a hand axe. I take all the shells and upgrade my shotgun a bit and I leave the rest for now. I also take all the lighters and matches I can find in the desks. After that, I finally found a baseball bat in the back of this police truck, which after siphoning the smallest amount of gas from this car, I was able to take it back to the fire station. The quest for gas has begun. I head back out after warming up and go to the shops up the street. After clearing some, I actually found a generator magazine. Hell yeah, maybe I'm not fucked when the power goes out after all. That night, I slept in the apartments above the shops after I read a few books. I wake up at 3 a.m. on day 3 and loot more of the upstairs. I found 3 or 4 gun cases and a single wardrobe alone. I'm getting an okay stockpile of weapons now. I even found a crowbar in there as well. After watching a life and living show, I set off to find some gas. I end up in the gated community behind the shops and find more guns, but still no luck on gas. I was finally able to get a little bit of gas from a car, enough for me to get to the gas station. That's what the shotgun is for. After clearing out the gas station, I helped myself to all the gas I needed, along with all the gas station food I wanted. After that, I went back to the gated community to get some sleep. It's time to start thinking of an outpost location. I was thinking about the motel down the street, so I went there to try and clear it. Before I left, I made sure to take the trailer that was sitting in front of the house I slept in. After clearing out the initial horde, I drove back to the fire station to get all the axes, and I also picked up the rest of the armory from the police station. When I arrived back at the motel, I started chopping down trees and putting up log walls. I was able to get a good bit of the wall done before I had to sleep. The next day, I power leveled carpentry by dismantling the motel beds. These beds give a huge amounts of XP, especially if you've read the books. In just a single day, I was able to get to level 5 carpentry with help from a woodcraft episode that came on during the grind. In the morning, I went out to chop more trees for the wall. But before actually continuing the wall, I went out to grind carpentry some more. But it took until 8 AM on day 7 to reach level 6 carpentry. And after that, I went back to the outpost and snorted some coffee instead of sleeping, and continued the work on the wall. By midnight, I had the whole place walled in. On day 8, I started gathering up the planks left over from the dismantled beds and made a walkway around the wall. By 6 PM, I had the start of a nice compound. The next day, I went to go get a generator for the compound. I forgot to record me picking up the generator, but you can get them just after searching a few garages or sheds. But it was only 3 o'clock, so I went on a looting run to the school for knowledge and power. After fighting a bit, I got my hands on the whole tailoring series and more metalworking book. After that, I was getting tired, so I went back to the outpost for sleep. Day 10 rolls around, and I'm getting properly set up here at the motel, cleaning up the place and using some metal shelves as storage. And that's when the helicopter arrived. After seeing that the helicopter event wasn't really doing anything, I just waited it out in the motel. And this was definitely a test of knowledge for me. I really had to lock in for this one, but this was definitely a fun little challenge. If you would like me to keep going, let me know in the comments, and if you like this video or learn anything new, leave a like. If not, have a good rest of your day, and hopefully this video will be the worst part of it. I'll see you later.